at first glance, 20th in the league doesn't look that good. However, we kind of threw away some points yesterday, so I'm hoping, even though today we faced three more tough opponents in Derby, QPR and Reading in the league, I'm hoping that we can pick up some more points and get a little bit further away from that relegation zone. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the first episode of the new season, over an hour long. Been a while since we've had an hour long special here on the channel, so I hope you did enjoy it. Of course, a number of new signings to the club, some new faces, some old faces, and some familiar ones as well. So we actually have the side that we beat in the playoff final to get to the level we're at in the cup today, but we'll be simulating that game. We start with Derby in the opening game, and obviously with this one coming midweek, we will be having to rotate, but it will be the first time that we get to see ABADIA in the starting lineup for over half a year because of his long-term injury. So I'm looking forward to that. We've got Ethan Clark on the left, Evans on the right, although to be fair, I could probably put Clark on the right and then Charlie Robinson on the left. I'm tempted to put Pereira Roque in as well, but I won't for the time being. And as we now have Cano and Collins as my starting centre-backs again, now that we brought Don Brown back on loan, Fitzwater will go into this rotation 11. So moving forward from here, I think that's where we're going to go with it. Actually, Conceição could be involved from the start here because he's not in the starting lineup now. Of course, with the recurrence of Jack Rolls at the club, or return of Jack Rolls at the club. We'll put Griffiths on the bench, so I really should have a striker on the bench somewhere. So we'll put ABADIA in there for Greg Taylor. A number of defenders on the bench, but to be fair, Leon Davis and Evans we've been utilising as wide midfielders, and then ABADIA there too with the centre mid. So it's not the strongest 11 by any stretch of the imagination, but it is the way that we're going to have to work it this season, as ever, if we're to be as competitive as possible in the majority of our games. It means we can play full strength against QPR, sim with the team we're about to play with against Rotherham, and then be full strength again against Reading. We'll be ending the transfer window today as well, but as we mentioned yesterday, we're going to save what money we've got left until January so that we know where we need to improve the team moving forward. I've just seen that we just dropped, in fact, to 21st in the league there as we've advanced to this game against Derby now. So a side that had a game in hand has played an extra game, or perhaps a team played early on the Friday. But moving forward, our second game at home at Carrow Road, I think it might even be the third. We had Sheffield Wednesday at home, and then the third game yesterday, I can't remember whether it was home or away. I think it might have been away because we played in the third kit, didn't we? So, second game at home at Carrow Road. We threw away a 2-0 lead last time we were here. Let's not do that again. Derby's 11, then Martin Waghorn up top with Tom Lawrence, presumably either behind him or out wide. Is a left winger, isn't he, Tom Lawrence? I might be probably mistaken there, but I think he's a wide player. No, he's sat just behind Martin Waghorn in a 4-2-3-1. Yosef Soon on the right is going to be quick. Jaden Bogle at right back is a very capable player. In fact, I think we used him last year in the RTG, didn't we? Certainly remember using him in a season or a series last year. Might have been Sunderland, actually, but my brain is telling me it was the RTG. Regardless, we've used him before. We know he's decent. The first team is probably better in offence than it is defence, whereas this second team is probably better in defence than it is offence. So we'll wait and see how things pan out in this game. I don't expect to get anything more than a point, but being at home, regardless of whether it's a first team or a second team, second string team, I would like to get some points here. I saw the league table prior to the game on the way in. They showed it on screen, and was actually Wigan having played a fourth game and getting a point in it that meant that they moved above us. That's why we dropped down the table to 21st. It was because Wigan have now played a game more than us and a level on... Actually, no, I think they've got a point more as things stand. But if we get a point here, we'll go back above them on goal difference. And... or Leeds beating Peterborough. They're both in the relegation zone, I think. Certainly Peterborough were heading into this game. I'm looking for the man in the middle. It's not gone anywhere near him. I was looking for Ethan Clark there, but James Wilden with a waylaid pass. Good touch to get away. Conceição nibs quickly looking for ABADIA, who eventually reacts to where the ball was. We get that through a gap to a teammate. We can. And Maris has options here, one of which is Nibs, who's turned well. Can't hold on to the ball, but does win the free kick. Conceição is our go-to free kick taker, although ABADIA does have the power free kick trait, as someone was very accurately able to point out in a previous episode. And to be fair, we might start to train his free kick accuracy. Let's give it to ABADIA. What can we do from 25 yards with our absolutely rapid striker? It's on target, but a comfortable height for Ruse. Not to worry. Good first chance for us, and you never know, we might be able to quickly get a second. It might even be ABADIA that has it. Look through there, looking for Nibs. Not going to find him, but ABADIA will get to the loose ball. Robinson, he'll find Nibs, and he, again, can't get the turn on the defender, unfortunately, but we're proving to Derby here that we could be a threat. Is Bird. On the left-hand side, cross blocked. We will get to that with Clark. And away, a penalty at Peterborough. They keep telling me about results at Peterborough United. I don't care unless it's the opposition scoring against Peterborough. Please, Leeds. I think it was Leeds they had. Oh, keeper saved it. Still 1-0 to Leeds. Fantastic. Just what we need to hear. And still 0-0 here against Derby, although half-time whistle is not too far away. Neymar to Real Madrid. Confirmed top left, although I think we confirmed that in the final stages of yesterday's episode. Eden Hazard has gone the other way, if you didn't make it that far through yesterday's video. Neymar to Real Madrid and Eden Hazard to Barcelona. That's going to be 1-0 to Derby, isn't it? Couldn't stop the cross, couldn't mark the man in the middle, and Josef Zoon gives Derby County a 1-0 lead at Carrow Road. Just couldn't keep track of all the various men in the middle, and then Josef Zoon makes a darting run towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Turns it home well, and we find ourselves 1-0 down. I will now make that change. I'll move James Weldon into midfield for the extra stamina. And actually, let's give this Pereira Roque guy a start. Well, not start. Some minutes at right back and see what he's all about. I'm waiting to go to Nibs first to then try and play ABADIA in behind with that extra pace. Tried the fancy back heel. That didn't work. Charlie Robinson's got some pace of his own. ABADIA. Oh, looking through here to George Maris. Oh, who swings and misses at the ball. Such a good opportunity to get ourselves an equaliser there. We haven't quite been able to take. Oh, and this is going to be a good counter-attack here for Derby if they can keep it going. It's a smart turn by Josef Zoon. Loose pass, but Tom Lawrence deals with it well. Good interception, and away we come on the counter again. Maris to Wilden. I need runners in front of me. Nibs isn't necessarily... Harvey Nibs' hold-up play hasn't quite been good enough in this game so far. Wilden actually performing well at centre-mid since being moved there. And looking through the gap there for ABADIA. I don't think it's going to happen for us in this game. We're trying our hardest to get this equaliser, but I think we might well be losing this by 1-0. And Luton now 1-0 down against Middlesbrough as well, so that will leave them below us. Peterborough losing will leave them below us as well. And I don't know, actually, off the top of my head, who the third team in the relegation zone is. We were just above it prior to this match day. Comfortably enough for Mitov. So hopefully, despite losing here, we should still stay above the relegation zone. It'd be great if we could get a late goal. Clark's gone again, and ABADIA with a wonderful ball through to him. Ethan Clark in behind, in on goal. What a block by McKenna. That saved Derby County a point, I'm sure of it. Unless... just keep the ball, Ches. Don't give it away. Don't needlessly give it away. Play the right pass at the right time. He says. Oh, we got a free kick, though. Well, it's now or never. It really is now or never. Clark for Evans for the extra pace. And Davies for... actually... for Nibs. And Robinson up top just for the extra pace. Oh, it will be a last gasp hurrah. But we might be able to get ourselves an equaliser here. I'll look for the man on the edge of the box. It's not who I aimed it. It's not who I aimed it at. Oh! Come on. It might work in our favour, actually, if it brings their defensive line away from goal. And they've backed off ABADIA here, and his shot... oh, I thought we'd gotten a free kick. His shot was denied the opportunity to fly on goal, and we are going to lose 1-0 at home against Derby. We did all right in that game. Again, a side that you would expect to beat us. A side that have beaten us, but not by a massive margin. And we didn't look completely out of our depth. 3-1, Leeds beat Peterborough in the end, and Luton equalised annoyingly. So I think that might be us into the relegation zone. Difficult game. Our confidence is solid, though. We don't need to worry about that. We played well enough, but it wasn't enough, unfortunately. We could have just had the final shot to get that away in that second half, maybe with George Maris, with ABADIA. And if they haven't made that last block on Ethan Clark either, then we could have been able to get another chance on goal. So we're doing well enough so far at the beginning of the season. We just need to improve as the year goes along, and we will be fine. Cardiff yet to score a point. Peterborough on 1, Blackburn Rovers on 2 with us, but goal difference sees us in 21st. That's the first time this season that we haven't conceded 2 goals in a game. So, signs of improvement. Let's see if we can improve yet further against Queen's Park Rangers. Off to Loftus Road we go now. Joe Lumley in goal for QPR. Todd Kane at right back. Grant Hall at centre back still for them. Brecci Izzy up top in the cam role, presumably, yes, behind Ota. Strong enough team, you would imagine, for QPR here. Sort of a lower top half of the table team, I think, Queen's Park Rangers. At least that's what I'd have said they were at first glance, without having a massively in-depth knowledge about the Championship or the teams that are in it at this particular moment in time. But we'll wait and see how well they play. This is obviously our preferred 11. Biezo on the run. Anita Ngoy or Rolls to make the secondary run, which they seems rather reluctant to do, both of them. Don Brown nearly able to cut that out. Ota back to Cameron. Out to Bigetto. Everything for them in these opening stages has come down this left-hand side for them. But they haven't really found any way through yet. Had a chance earlier that was offside that I probably won't have shown you. So this might be the first clip you're seeing in the game if something comes from it, which it may well do from that cross. Cleared away nicely, actually, and Biezo will get to that first, and we'll try and catch him on the counter here. Jack Rolls, I'll lift this over the top and let Ngoy run onto it, though I might have put slightly too much on that, and indeed I have. Lumley gets to it first. 20 minutes in, still 0-0. We haven't looked that good going forwards yet, but we have stood firm defensively to this point, so we'll build on that. Try and keep the clean sheet for as long as possible, because let's be honest, we're probably not going to keep a clean sheet for the entire game. And try and get a goal when the opportunity presents itself, which it might be here if we can find out a Biezo, but Jeff Cameron gets in a good block. Slightly delayed too long with the pass there. Kane, I thought I was just going to get to that with Sheyoju. We have gotten to the second one. We can squeeze that inside there to Adebayo. We might be in here. And Goy's going to keep that run going. Please tell me Sheyoju was onside here. He was looking for the man at the back post, but somehow Hall has gotten to that. Oh, I was trying to just lift it to the man at the back post to hopefully nod home into a relatively unmarked and undefended net. They've had a lot of the ball though, QPR, in this first half. No shots on target from either side yet, although we were not far away from our first there. Cameron playing the ball out wide here to Delphi. We look like, to this point at least, going to be keeping our clean sheet till half time. And if I could have turned slightly quicker with that Biezo, and Goy might have been in. We just haven't quite had that quickness to our game that is the difference between the level we were playing at and the level we are playing at now so far in this tie. Hopefully with the improvement of our players throughout the season, we will add that extra sharpness and speed of dribble and quickness of touch to our game as the players improve in their stats. But to this point, it has been a bit of a struggle in the Championship so far, and unless we do see those improvements between now and the end of the season, we will be in a relegation-threatened year. But we're still holding on for a 0-0 draw here. And if I can just get rid of this and see the half-time whistle, then we've only got 45 minutes to hold on. Sheyoju, Adebayo, that's the sort of quickness of touch we're looking for. And Ngoy's in the middle, and his first-time shot is stopped at source by the defender next to him. I was certain we were going to get a goal-scoring chance, and a good one at that there. But unfortunately, Ngoy couldn't get his shot away. I'm not too sure how, whether he missed it on his unfavoured left foot or whether the defender just stuck his foot in and it just stopped it dead right in front of him. But, man, I was getting excited there thinking we were about to score a goal. Kane, one more Chelsea man. Oh, looking for the ball through there to Ezzy. Could go back to him. He's gone to Delphi. Now to Todd Kane. Big save. No! Oh, get rid. There we go. Jesus Christ, that was close. Had me worried there. Campos squeezes that round the corner. Can we get there with Ojo? We can. That'll be Ojo inside here to Campos. And Goy's going to make the run through the gap. And he's in here. Julian and Goy take it away from the defender. Good save by Lumley. I couldn't have taken that a little bit further on because the defender would have caught me up. Campos with the corner. The game's coming alive in the second half. Hit that first time, Jack. It's gone wide, or was headed wide at least. Oh, don't give up on it, Dom. Brown was headed towards that ball and then stopped when I didn't change to him quickly enough. I'm going to get it to Don Brown anyway. Rolls will step away from the man. Is that a foul? Nothing given. Ojo. Ojo. Ah, I needed that quickness of touch he didn't have on this occasion. Game is coming to life though. 25 minutes to go. And the first half was a bit of a snore draw. It could be anyone's game now. We will get this out wide here though to Shea Ojo. And go again there actually, Julian. And burst into the space. And I've got two in the middle. Can we find Jack Rolls towards the back post? Oh! We can, but what a save by Lumley. So close for Jack for his second goal of the season. Brilliant left-footed strike in the last episode. That was really well struck on his right as well, but straight at the keeper, unfortunately. And a little bit of a comfortable height for him. Can we win this header, though? Collins wins the first. Adebayo wins the second. And Lumley picks up the easy loose ball. Last change for ABADIA to come on. Hasn't had the opportunity to go through yet. Rolls eventually gets it under control. Keep that going, Julian. He's in behind. Had a great chance earlier on, but he's been forced wide here. Just a hopeful ball into the middle. Oh, but it's brilliantly hooked away, and that will be a 0-0 draw. Our first clean sheet of the season. And we were the better team there in the second half. We grew into that. They certainly had chances, and they could have scored in the second half themselves as well. But I felt like we were the better team there in that second 45. We had some good opportunities as well. The first win of the season is coming. I can feel it. Peterborough lose again. Luton draw again. So I think that moves them. No, because we drew. So it won't move them above us because we didn't lose. I still need to chase my bloody manager's outfit. Two very strong defences is what we'll say. Very pleased to get our first clean sheet of the season. And our defence deserves praise. Literally, I was in the process of praising them as they asked that question. And Hall had a great game. He cut out a very crucial cross in the first half that was headed towards a man at the back post. Now, hopefully, I'm not sure what one that was. Right. That was the bottom one. Hopefully, we can get our first victory of the season in this simulated game against Rotherham. Cano now up to 70 rated. That's going to be important for his growth and his ability to help us get more clean sheets this season. Still, no interest in moving anyone else on at this stage. We are going to need the full squad. Just felt a bit threatened by the new faces. Thanks for straightening things out. I expect great performances is what I'll say, because I do need him to deliver if he wants to get himself back into that starting lineup, which at this moment in time he is not going to do. Right, Rotherham in the second round of the Carabao Cup. A loan offer again for Clark and a transfer offer for Jack Fitzwater from Ghent. Nah. Now we're a championship team. I feel like we're going to be able to realistically turn down some of the larger bids because I said there's bigger games ahead. Although actually he is going to play this one, isn't he? Because we're going to sim with this team. Fair enough. Could have told him he could have played. I feel like we're in a position to be able to turn down more of the bids that we would perhaps have had to accept a couple of seasons ago. I still can't believe we were able to get Don Brown back on loan. That's a dream deal for us. We took the money and still kept the player for the time being. James Wilden with a goal. ABADIA with a second. Nibs misses a penalty, unfortunately, but we are going to go through in the Carabao Cup here unless Rotherham pull off the most remarkable of comebacks. It was 3-1 in the playoff final last year, and it looks like it might be a 2-goal margin of victory for Cambridge United here against them again. 3-goal victory. Wilson with a goal as well. 2 for the wing-backs and 1 for ABADIA. And we're through to the next round of the Carabao Cup. Going well in cup football. And now a point clear of the relegation zone. So, continuing to make inroads up the table. The question is Reading going to be a team we can beat? And thankfully, now we're at championship level, we don't need to worry about international breaks either. With Dimi Mitov going away with Bulgaria, we will now have the break that you get from that. You only get the international break in the top 2 divisions in England. Anything can happen, but we'll try and get ourselves a win here. We haven't won in any of our last 5 matches, but I believe we can win today is what I'll say. I'll try and keep morale high. We've only lost 2 games this season. We've drawn 3, so we're not that bad. We just haven't won yet. We're a Reading. 13th. Well, that's, on paper, a winnable tie. Let me go and change my manager's outfit, and then I will see you in the game against Reading. Another team in blue and white. Lucas João up top, Modou Barrow with him too. Andy Yadom at right back, Raphael in goal should be pretty decent. Tyler Blackett in the defence as well as Michael Morrison. I see Morrison. I think it was Michael Morrison. I imagine it's Michael Morrison. It is. Used to play for Cambridge United. Even at championship level, we've got some players that used to play for Cambridge. It seemed like it happened every other week in Leagues 1 and 2, particularly League 2. As we move higher up, rather understandably, less players that used to play for Cambridge in the higher leagues, but Michael Morrison is one of the few. Hopefully, though, he won't have a good day at the back for Reading, and we can get ourselves at least one other point, if not 3, hopefully, to propel us up the table. How Modou Barrow's been able to get that around the corner there to Wallace, I'm not sure. It's a smart turn, and thankfully, we're in the way. To Campos, we'll go back to Jack. And Goy in a good position. Oh, not quite enough played on that pass, but Blackett can only clear it away, and we have an opportunity. We'll throw this back here to Campos, under control. Turn well. I see Brown stood there. It's a lovely ball. Brown into Jack Rolls. Is left-footed. Oh, and it will reach ABADIA. Can he get away from the defender? No, Michael Morrison far too strong on this occasion. I thought for a moment we were going to get a slice of luck as Rolls' shot got blocked and it fell free to ABADIA, but it wasn't to be. Cano tried to close the man down and couldn't get the ball off him. Lewis Page not able to close João down on the first attempt, nor the second. Ad Popper, nice tackle by Page on this occasion, and a goal kick too, a slice of luck. Trying to force him out wide, that's a cheeky little back heel that will find Lucas João. And, oh, this is going to be 1-0, isn't it? No, Page, I'm not sure if he got on it, or whether it was the Reading man trying to look for his teammate there in the middle, but either way, whichever way around it was, they haven't been able to get the ball to go towards goal. I thought for a moment when the man was free at the back post, that was it. That's game over. That's 1-0. But it wasn't to be. And Goy quite strong enough to hold off Blackett, annoyingly. 25 minutes played in this game. And we're still having to do more defending than attacking so far. Hopefully that changes in the same way it did against QPR. And in the second half, we can be better in front of goal, or more creative at least. And hopefully score a goal initially to win us a game. Now, at least, to earn a point. We've just not been creative enough in this one so far. Although, as we say, things changed at half-time in the game against QPR, so hopefully they do here against Reading too. Although, Brown doing enough to hold the man off. We are going to need to get the ball in the back of the net if we're to take anything from this one. Something we haven't done so far today. That almost went straight out from the corner. Ball played back. Here's Ion, but Ojo does well, and Page on the counter. Ojo electing not to go for a secondary run, but ABADIA's moving well in front of him. Turn back, look for support. It is here. And Goy, there's a run by Ojo. Oh, I took a touch. Maybe I should have laid that across to Jack Rolls. I took a touch to set myself for the shot, but maybe that first time touch should have been a pass to Rolls. Oh, it's going to fall to ABADIA here. Back to Ojo. Gets another opportunity, but on his weaker foot, scuffs it, and Raphael gathers it up. 1-0 down at the break. A slight flurry at the end of the half, and perhaps could have been level. But crucially, we aren't. Luton drawing. Peterborough not playing. And Blackburn losing to Wigan as well. So as things stand, we will stay outside of the relegation zone. But only just. Ocampos. Just Campos, not Ocampos. Brown to Campos again. Inside to Julian and Goy. Good footwork on this occasion. Given some space, and Goy is pretty decent. But if he's got a man right with him, I'm finding that Ngoy's dribbling isn't quite good enough up top in the Championship to this point to actually be able to hold his own and get me the hold-up play that I need. It's not that ABADIA has been spectacular, to be fair, in that regard. No one has really stood out yet, but ABADIA is the man that's been getting more goals. Nice tackle to get the ball back there. But Ngoy was very good for us towards the end of last year, so I will continue to keep faith in him for the time being. Oh, just couldn't turn and get the ball across quickly enough. We've got Birmingham City coming up after this away from home in the Championship. This is going to feel probably like the beginning of Season 2, but for the whole year, I think, in the Championship. I'm not sure if the side is good enough to stay up based on this first month. But again, we reiterate that these are some of the biggest teams and more difficult teams in the division that we have to play, outside of obviously the other two that were relegated from the Premier League last year. Adebayo looking for Ngoy here. Can he get that down and get it away? Slightly fortunate to do so, but yes. Back to Sheyoto, into Adebayo. Rolls was with me, elected not to make a run. Now he has, but it's a little bit too late. I think the chance has gone. Or has it? Yes, it has. Oh, that's frustrating. Need to be better. We must be better in that final third. I'm going to take Adebayo off now and bring ABADIA on. Oh, but I don't think there's going to be another change in there. I don't think I'm going to make maybe Nibs. Maybe Nibs for Ojo and move Ngoy out wide. Oh, come on. Let's get this goal. Let's not lose 2 today. Let's get 2 points at least from our 3 games today. Here's Peter. To Popa. Nice block by Brown. Counter-attack. Come on, Ngoy. Oh, he's so slow to get that down. Adebayo does have some pace, but he's running low on stamina. Oh, and can't get past Tyler Blackett. At this moment in time, with the opponents we've played so far in the Championship, we've not been good enough overall. We just haven't had the quality. It's not been a case of being unlucky like it was on a few occasions in Leagues 1 and 2. There has been definitely a gap in quality between us and our opponents. But we keep fighting. With 4 minutes to go, finally, those substitutes can be made now. They've made a change as well. Lucas João going off for them and a new striker coming on. Cross coming towards Puskás, who's the man that's come off the bench for them. Wallace to Barrow, back to Wallace. Good block by Noel. It's going to be another corner for Reading, and the more the ball ends up flying into our box, the less time we've got to go on that counter and try and get an equaliser. It's going to drop here to Elise. I need to win this back quickly, please. Just chasing shadows at the moment, though. Morrison does find Peter into Puskás. Oh, the ball through. Peter, good save by Norris. That could be huge if we can get the ball forward quickly. And it needs to be quick. Ngoy, Nibs, rolls. ABADIA is in. ABADIA in behind. Oh, yes! The keeper got something on it, but ABADIA buries it. We are not to lose a second game today. The substitution makes the difference. The extra pace off the bench makes the difference, and maybe that is how we're supposed to use ABADIA. He isn't as good as Ngoy overall. He doesn't have better finishing. He doesn't have better passing. He doesn't have better strength. But he does have the extra pace to impact off the bench. And that was what got him through there, was those extra legs. And I don't know if he'd started the game, whether he would have had the pace to get through there. Or if he'd started the game and we brought Ngoy on, whether Ngoy would have had the pace to get on there. I think that's going to be the way we have to do it. We'll continue to start Ngoy. That's the decision made for me. Change the manager's outfit again, as you can see, to back to his tracksuit, which did us so well in previous seasons. I don't know what that noise was. Something just happened on my PC. Oh, by the skin of our teeth, we take a point from Reading. Luton lost. Blackburn lost. Big result for us getting that point. Really, really pleased. Brown is on a hot run of form. He certainly is. Deserves all the praise. Team seems to be unable to secure a win. We need to... I say we need to think. We lack solutions. We need to think. None of those are really the options I wanted to say there. A draw is fully deserved. Has nothing to do with luck. Luck's part of the game. We'll say luck's part of the game. But to be fair, we were right at the end of stoppage time. Perhaps longer than the game should have gone on. But that extra point has moved us up to 19th. And crucially, if we hadn't have gotten it, we would have been in 22nd and in the relegation zone. So it was a big point for us. Still no win, but that's still the case for Swansea and Blackburn as well. That was a massive goal. It's grinding out points like that that could be the difference between staying up and going down. It really could. So that's a massive result for us. ABADIA's finishing is going up to 53. Strength up as well to 64. And Nibs is up to 70 overall now. And Goy does have potential of 75 by default. So I'd like to think that he will continue to grow. So then, transfer deadline day. Neymar, Azar and Cucurella still the 3 biggest transfers so far in this window. We'll see what happens on deadline day, but I don't think at least the first 2 are going to be eclipsed. We might see a deal bigger than Cucurella, but obviously we're not looking to do anything now. There might have been a big one there. Let me have a quick check. Yes, Joao Cancelo gone to Real Madrid. So they've bought Neymar from PSG and Joao Cancelo from City, Real Madrid, and sold Eden Hazard, funding at least part of the other 2. A loan offer for Nathan Collins. Yeah, sure. Sure, Pressure. I'll just loan you my starting centre-back and captain, shall I? Piss off. Not happening, I'm afraid. 5 hours to go. A mid-level deal went through there. Again, a couple of smaller deals. No big jumps in the last few hours yet. A loan offer for Cano. No. And a loan offer for Wright? No. A transfer bid for Davies from Minnesota United. I'm going to say no, purely because he's been a very good player for us and reliable player for us in the early seasons. I want to see if we can continue his growth into the early 70s, in which case he could be 10 million from Toronto, but we'll reject that. We're in the Championship now. If that was, to be fair, even in League One, MLS, perhaps not. But regardless, we'll keep rejecting and continue to throw away any opportunity for players to leave, basically. Maris, an offer from a Turkish side that we'll certainly be rejecting. Players like Leon Davis, they haven't yet reached their max potential. They might not yet reach their max potential, but they have the opportunity to do so and reach the early 70s, which means they could be a good squad player still in latter seasons in the Championship. I certainly, on the first couple of episodes, experience so far in the Championship, don't expect us to go up this year. But if players can continue to grow, then that's what we're going to need them to do to ensure that we can go up in a future season. Wow, in the latter stages of deadline day, there was another big deal that went through. Saul from Atletico Madrid to Liverpool for £69 million, and Martin Odegaard to Manchester United for 59.6. Cucurella we saw. Reguilon to Arsenal for 43.4 from Real Madrid. Joaquin Correa to Atleti as well. Christian Eriksen to Manchester United, back to the Premier League for him. Thuram to Juventus. Felipe to Leipzig. Jimenez to AC Milan from Wolves. Adeyemi, I don't know who he is actually, from Salzburg, but to Juventus, so it must be fairly decent. Ryan Fraser to Wolfsburg. Rafa to Dortmund. Oxlade-Chamberlain back to Merseyside, but to the blue half on this occasion. Allen to the Premier League. That's a good signing for West Ham. Jota? I don't know where Jota came from. Zaha from Atleti to Dortmund. Andre Gomez to Inter Milan. Torgan Hazard to Leverkusen. Then the other, Arsenal signed Santa Maria. Lucas Moura back to the Premier League with Manchester United. Joao Mario going to Napoli. Kostic to City. That's an odd one. Ozil from Leipzig to Schalke at 33 years of age. Any other ones in there that we'd raise an eyebrow at? Fred to Roma, perhaps. Karamoko is supposed to be a decent player, decent young player that grows. From Wolfsburg to Bayern. I think he plays for Celtic, doesn't he? Musa Karamoko at the beginning of a save. And Herrera to Bournemouth. And Kulu to Sevilla. Slightly older now, those players. Though Mopé to Juventus. That's an odd one. Danilo Pereira is a decent player to Villarreal for a really decent fee for Villarreal. And that's all of the biggest deals. So some surprise deals going through there with Neymar to Real Madrid and Hazard going back to PSG. But that's the month that we face. Birmingham away, Middlesbrough at home, Luton away, and Cardiff as well, who are down the bottom with us. So we will certainly play Luton and Cardiff. Yes, there are 6 games, but we would have simmed the Stoke game anyway. So we'll play 3 league games, we'll sim 2 league games, and then sim the cup game outside of that as well. Certainly we'll be playing Luton, certainly we'll be playing Cardiff, and we'll make a decision about one of the other sides as well nearer the time, once we know what the rest of the league table looks like. But that is all she wrote for today. Thank you very much for watching, boys. Thank you for your feedback on yesterday's episode. I'll take effect the squad number changes, probably not in the next episode, but the one after that. And then from there, we shall hopefully, point by point, game by game, get ourselves away from that relegation zone. But we are going to need wins, and soon. But hopefully, they're not too far away. I'll see you tomorrow.